Hey there everyone, Lord Frigid here with another episode of Aether Raids Offense. This time we are back in Astra season. I had a somewhat rocky start this time around, but it smoothed out towards the end. I'm actually a little annoyed about my very last match. I got attacked by someone whose defense team lead was a plus 10 young Sita. Now, of course, Sita's a bonus unit this season, so obviously the cautious part of my brain was telling me, don't you dare hit that rematch button, while the adventurous part of my brain was saying, hey man, you've got 3 ladders and analyzing hard maps is always fun. So I hit the rematch button, and the map looks like this. Now, granted, there are 3 high merge bonus units on the map, but the layout itself is not particularly threatening. Everyone's boxed up and the ranged units are able to target one of the defense tiles. No hardy bearing, so the closest thing to a vantage counter is Windsweep Merrick, and 1, I'm not sure how hard he can actually hit Altina on a defense tile, and 2, just break the Aether Fountain and have her hit him in the face? I don't know. I was half relieved and half disappointed. I ended up having Leon take out Thrasir and weaken Merrick, then sent in my own young Sita to clean everything else up with Feather Sword. But that's enough chit-chat out of me. Let's go ahead and get into these battles. The first map up is a box-style setup, probably intended to simply minimize lift loss by the look of it. There is no refresher, which does make things easier, but do note that there is still a bit of range extension, with legendary Lucina able to use Future Vision to extend the current enemy threat range by about 2 spaces in whichever direction she chooses to move. That said, I still consider this map to be pretty susceptible to hit-and-run maneuvers, particularly on the left-hand side, since Naga can grant dragon effectiveness to your attacker to help deal with Duma. Yes, Lucina will probably be able to reach one of your units afterward, but it's only Lucina, so as long as the unit you leave in her extended range can deal with her, you're good to go. Another possibility is to use a ranged tank placed along the right edge of the map. If your tank is one of the select few that can handle legendary Celica, just place him in the top right corner. Otherwise, you can try sniping Celica with a player phase ranged unit, then have the tank reposition your attacker. A second reposition, or a refresh, will get them out of Ephraim's range, and now Lucina is forced to be the one and only unit to attack your ranged tank on the enemy phase. So fortunately for me, I can actually just walk my dragon armors at this setup and be perfectly fine. So if this is serious, is going to allow her to one-hit KO legendary Celica and legendary Ephraim, and the sustain it provides will allow her to weather through the enemy phase. I am expecting, after the attacks from Ephraim and Celica, that Hector will move and get future visioned by Lucina, which should allow her to attack Idunn. Which means that I just need to make sure I don't have any other units in that sort of diagonal that Lucina will be able to target. Legendary Celica does actually hit quite hard with her high attack and, of course, her Saintly Seraphim effect that deals damage that scales off of the enemy's res, but again, Sirius activation is going to be able to heal a good chunk of that off. 15 damage, about half. Okay, that's nice. Puts her above 50%, maintains the thresholds for Special Fighter and Snow's Grace. And the Ephraim matchup is super one-sided there. He doesn't even deal any damage. I didn't actually calculate the Ephraim matchup because I knew Sothis won it pretty handily. I didn't know she won it that handily. So, okay, 4 damage out of Lucina, not too bad. She will fall to Bonfire. And I'm not overly worried about not having Idunn's duo skill for when Thrasir advances, just because Sothis is immune to dragon effective damage anyway. Or dragon effectiveness, obviously. Not immune to dragon effective damage, that would be broken. So, let's go ahead and just have, I can have Altina and Naga start advancing up towards this Aether Amphora here. And then I'm basically just good to go. I don't really need to do anything else except hit and turn. Thrasir should just suicide straight into Sothis now. I believe... Oh, she doesn't even need Sirius. Wow. Yikes. Poor Thrasir. So, let's actually see how much she healed off of this. 30%. So 12. She's almost at full HP again. Nice. And now this is a pretty quick cleanup. Okay, Duma's out front. Let's see, can Idunn actually take him down with armor effectiveness? Oh wow, she can. Sweet. I'll let her go ahead and do that. And then after this, I'll reposition Idunn out with Sothis so that she doesn't accidentally take down Hector on the enemy phase before I've gotten the Aether structures. And now I can send Altina over to the left. And the rest of this map should be pretty easy cleanup.
You have my trust.
It will be done.
What do you need? With utter certainty.
This way.
Consider it done.
Yes? Come on, let's play outside!
Map number 2 is an infantry pulse team with some extra annoyances thrown in the form of Brave Ike, who is notoriously hard to take down, and Virion, who will provide sudden panic support. Additionally, there is a Wings of Mercy chain with Duma, Thrasir, Micaiah, and Ophelia all carrying Wings of Mercy. So, if you fail to fully eliminate a unit, like Brave Ike, they will be able to swarm to that unit and possibly get at your backline if you're not careful with your positioning. As far as approach options, this space here strikes me as the most reliable. Virion and Micaiah are, in my mind, the two least threatening ranged units on the map combat-wise, and leaving a good ranged tank here will allow you to pick off the enemy team's refresher. Another option for a seriously res-heavy unit is this space here, where you can eliminate Micaiah and Ophelia. It's no mean feat, though, with Vantage off the table and both units' specials fully charged. Once you get the enemies moving, Brave Ike should fall pretty easily to Altina, whose Twin Blade special will cleave right through Urban's mitigation. In fact, with Micaiah and Ophelia out of the way, Altina should be able to sweep the map, although she may need some attack-boosting support for the bulkier foes. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and send in my Altina raiding party for this battle. I'm going to be using Nana's Witchy Wand to eliminate the special charges on all of the enemies, and after that, Altina should be able to handle the rest of the foes no problem. So I'm going to go ahead and take a couple turns to get set up here. I will be initiating on turn 3 to take advantage of the combination of Duma's Upheaval and the Bolt Tower, which will take Altina down by a total of 17 HP, putting her in Vantage range, which is just perfect for my needs. So let's go ahead and just move Naga in here in preparation to smite Nana up onto that trap, that heavy trap that may or may not be real. I don't know. It could really be either of them. So let me go ahead and just get this show on the road. Let's see, just move Nana. I might as well heal too, just get an action towards that miracle in case I need it. I don't think I will, but oh well. So, smite up to the heavy trap, and it is real, so let's go ahead and hit Micaiah, take out all those special charges. And then I'll have Altina on the defense tile. And now that does a couple things. One, it prevents the other units from claiming the defense tile. And two, it basically, based on the position of my other units, it forces Brave Ike to attack from the space below the Panic Manor, because the AI has, from my observance, likes to attack from safer locations, and the space to the right of Altina is very well threatened by the rest of my units. Even though, in terms of actual combat, those units aren't really able to deal a whole lot of damage to Brave Ike. He still sees that space as more threatening due to the heavier coverage. So in this case, actually, even if Altina weren't able to cleave right through him with Twin Blades, the Wings of Mercy chain wouldn't even be an issue, just because his positioning is so garbage. So, Altina will be able to cut right through Virion here, and then Thrasir and Duma should simply advance, leaving me able to claim the last Aether structure for my own. And then we'll have to see, okay, Altina can't take Duma out now, but with the Twin Blades activation, she should be able to do it. So I think what I can do is I can take out the Seer, that'll get Twin Blades up, and then I can smite Azura in to refresh my Altina, and then maybe just stick Lucina in here just in case, provide that extra +3 attack bonus. I don't think she needs it, but you know, better safe than sorry.
By these Twin Blades.
Today's final map is a combination of an infantry pulse and rally trap setup. I can almost guarantee you that the person that designed this map set up the unit's slot order such that Ophelia will warp to Azura to directly target Ike with her rally, at which point she will be eligible to receive Azura's refresh and be free to advance again. The beauty of this is that the extra movement granted by Grave Waves allows her to not only cover Ike's threat range, but also Thrasir's, making it harder to exploit the fact that Thrasir's range is one space larger than Ike's on the right-hand side. This map is actually pretty challenging to approach, but there are some options. One is a very bulky ranged tank placed here. After the rally trap triggers, only Soth and Ophelia will be able to target this space. If you go this route, you may also want to tuck whichever unit Thrasir deals the most damage to in a single round of combat, like Naga, over in the bottom right corner, to draw Thrasir in that direction instead of towards your tank. If you have a Gale Force cavalry unit, you can break the structures up the left edge of the map and use a hit-and-run maneuver to take down Ophelia or Soth. Note that you'll need to refresh or reposition your attacker to get them out of the range of whichever unit you didn't take out. And also note that if the remaining enemies start moving down the left-hand side, none of them will exceed Soth or Ophelia's range on the first turn of their advance, even with a +1 movement from Grey Waves. So in the last Astra Season video, I mentioned that I thought that the combination of Young Sita and Fallen Leon would be pretty powerful, and this map is actually a perfect opportunity to showcase why I think so. So I'm going to go ahead and actually walk up have Leon over here on the left-hand side of the map, sitting underneath the fortress defense, where he will attract the attention of Soth and Ophelia on the next turn. Then I'll have Nils over here in the right-hand corner to prevent Thrasyr from going off that direction, though I'm sure Leon could actually probably deal with him as well. But I will have Sita over here. Let me actually just make sure that her debuffs are all -2s from this flyer school, which means that Thrasyr won't have her killing intent active. So I'll have Sita down here, and she will be able to deal with Thrasyr instead of Leon. So, Rally Trap active. As expected, Ophelia does Rally Ike. And Soth and Ophelia will attack Leon here, but his Blood Tome should make it so that he deals with both of them very nicely. From Ortiz just punching Soth right in the face. Love that tome animation, by the way. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, Ophelia dealt more damage with her special than I thought she would. Because of the defense drop from Soth's dagger, of course. But, again, from Ortiz punching Ophelia in the face, healing Leon almost all the way back up to full, and as expected, Thrasyr does go straight down, and will fall to young Sita here. Then on the next turn, I'm fully expecting Ike to advance 2 spaces upward, and of course, with effective damage and triangle advantage, Sita will be able to take him down. I just need to make sure that she can handle Micaiah here, because she does have Hardy Bearing built into her weapon, 37 res, and Micaiah's attack is, what is that? It's going to be 50. Well, actually 45 because of Belief in Love. So she will be able to tank that quite nicely, so I can go ahead and take out Ike. So satisfying to see him go down that easily. And have Altina start moving up the right-hand side to get those Aether structures. So I'm going to go ahead and just start moving my units over this way. And let's take a look at this matchup. 8 damage, not too bad at all. And then takes a 57 in return. Then with Azura's advance, let's see, and she does cover these spaces, but I believe what I can do actually is I think I can have Altina go ahead and go up towards the Aether structures, and then what I'll do is I'll pull Sita back and have Naga placed in Azura's range, and in order to prevent dying, Azura will prefer to attack Naga instead of Altina. So, just as I expected there, no big deal. And next turn, I will be able to take the Aether F4 with Altina and have Sita finish the job.
With utter certainty.
I'm ready.
And that is it. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Aether Raids Offense. I didn't get to use young Sita as much as I really wanted to, but oh well. I'm sure she'll have plenty of opportunities as time goes on. So next week we will move into Light Season, where Peony is a bonus unit this time around, so I may actually be able to do some more triple mythic shenanigans, running either 2 Peonies, 1 air, or the other way around. Whatever the case, I hope to see you all at the end of that for another episode of Aether Raids Offense. So, as always, thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.